Thank you for joining today's session. We will be getting started shortly. We do have a lot of folks signed up for today's session, and we want to give everyone a moment to log on and get connected so that we can dive into today's session. I do want to thank you all for joining us today. I am Jasmine Garrett here with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Today's session is an informational overview on the federal SBIR and STTR program and support available through the Commission on Science, Innovation, and Technology. A quick housekeeping note, we do suspect that many questions will be answered in today's presentation. However, you are able to write in questions at any point during the presentation using Zoom's Q&A feature. It is one of your Zoom command options and will allow us to make sure we're able to get back to you and let others see these questions and answers as well. Today's session is being recorded and will also be posted on our NJEDA and YouTube pages. The slides and other resources will also be available in the next few days. Now, to get us started with the presentation, I will shift things over to NJEDA's Program Officer of Commission on Science, Innovation, and Technology, Frances Keel. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. Good morning, everyone. We are very excited to have this opportunity to speak with you today. We have some good information about the federal opportunities that are available with the new reauthorization that happened in April. And we want to share those opportunities with you and also share the options that we have funded for assistance with developing your applications and also identifying the appropriate agencies that you should apply to. So next slide. So we're going to have our Executive Director, Judith Sheff, give an introduction. I'm going to go over the just a high-level overview of the federal SBIR, STTR reauthorization, some of the changes that are going to be made, and also go into some of the current open solicitations. We also have two great speakers this morning that will talk about their assistance with applications. We have Kelly Brosna she's the Director and a Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Small Development Center. And many of you on the call and those that we have funded, we have certainly encouraged you to work with Kelly and her team, not just with SBIR, but also other initiatives in terms of creating your company's footprint in New Jersey. We also have Tom Richardson, who is the president for the Institute for Life Sciences Entrepreneurship, and his organization is also offering what we call Phase Zero funding to help you with your grant writing opportunities. And then we'll take some questions at the end. So Judith, you want to give a introduction and
Sure.
welcome?
Sure. So welcome to everyone. I took a
You
quick
can go
look.
back, Sean.
I took a quick look at the participant list, and I see a number of companies, a number of entrepreneurs that we've worked with before. So welcome to companies who've gotten prior support and assistance from the Commission on Science, Innovation, and Technologies, and then welcome to new entrepreneurs. We're always looking to be able to work with additional people. Frances is going to talk a little bit about the SBIR STTR program, but it's federal dollars to help support research and development activities. And one of the things that New Jersey is really interested in doing is making sure that we actually get our unfair advantage, get more federal dollars coming into the state to help support all of the innovative work that's going on with companies in sectors such as life sciences, advanced materials, clean tech, medical devices, general technology, and so forth. So there's a wealth of funding available at the federal level, and we want to make sure that our New Jersey entrepreneurs have the ability to get those dollars to help propel them forward. And now with that, I'd like to turn it over to Frances to talk about the program.
Thank you, Judith. Nishant, next slide. So we're all excited that the federal SBIR STTR program has finally been reauthorized. There was a pause since September, October of last year, and it was reauthorized through September of 2031 by the president in April. There are some new changes or additions to the program. There are going to be expanded security requirements. So companies are going to have to clearly identify any foreign cooperation, any foreign interactions, and be very delineative about that information and providing information on their applications. There will also be limits on the number of applications that a company can submit. And again, these things are going to be based on the individual agency. So it's not something that's going to be set across the board, but each agency will sort of set their own limits on the number of applications that can be submitted. An overall emphasis, though, is on commercialization. So there is a significant emphasis with the reauthorization of the program to focus on commercialization and actually moving something into the market. And there's two things that are going to be assisting with that. There's the strategic breakthrough funding, and then there's the expanded use of TABA funds. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about each of those. But I do want to reiterate something that Judith mentioned at the beginning, is that this is federal funding. These are dollars that are through the 11 federal agencies that make up the SBIR, STTR program. These agencies are required to participate in the program because they do have a research and development element to their organization. So it is a requirement that they participate. Historically, there's been about $4 billion collectively that's used or available through the SBIR, STTR programs. Because of the pause in the federal program last year, these federal agencies are going to be anxious to get these dollars out of the door. And as Judith mentioned, we want to ensure that New Jersey gets more than their fair share of this funding that's available by promoting our technologies and supporting our technology ecosystems. So I will go to the next slide, please, Nishant. So the Strategic Breakthrough Awards, it's up to $30 million per award with a 48-month performance period. You have to have a prior phase 2 award, and you have to have a one-to-one private match. And so this is what's called the phase 3 transition ladder. And again, with the emphasis being on commercialization, this phase 3 is the commercialization piece of the SBIR programs. And the agencies that will be able to participate are those that have greater than $1 million in SBIR funding. So this is definitely an opportunity for companies that have a prototype or have a system developed that's ready to be manufactured, that's ready to be marketed, and it's really on the edge of commercialization. So this is an excellent opportunity, again, focused on commercialization, prior phase 2. It's a very short turnaround period, and it's really good, up to $30 million, but realistically, there's probably going to be, maybe 1 to 2 million for the awards, for each award, just so that you are able to get your private match as well. So there'll be some caveats with the program, but again, another excellent program that is a part of the new reauthorization. Next slide. And then we have the technical and business assistance, or the TABA assistance. And this is a program that had been in existence before, but it's been expanded a little bit to also include, so one of the requirements for the new authorization is sort of screening for foreign involvement. So the cybersecurity support and those types of screenings, the TABA funds can be used for that type of activity now. And then you can also choose to use your own vendors or train your staff directly into these types of categories. The amounts are basically the same. It's $6,500 for phase 1 and $50,000 for phase 2. And these efforts can also be used to support, your commercialization, developing your business plan, getting your item ready for real world deployment, and also IP protection. Next slide. So these are the list of the current solicitations that are available. We have the Department of War that currently has solicitations out. We have Department of Education that currently has solicitations out. And again, all of these slides will be available once the webinar concludes, and all the links that are highlighted, you can actually click on them to identify the solicitations and what's available. Next slide. We also have the Department of Transportation with the solicitation open, and NASA also has opportunities available, which have been extended to June 5th. Next slide. And then one that just came out this morning is the National Science Foundation. You'll see the information here. They will be participating in the Strategic Breakthroughs Program. And so they also are going to be doing the scientific instrument emphasis, which will prioritize investing in the infrastructure to support the new fields of scientific discovery and making new breakthroughs and transformative applications. So that's another good way to get into the program. Again, starting off with a pitch deck. Next slide. And this is just a list of the additional resources that it will be clickable, the Strategic Breakthrough Award, specific information on that, the TABA funding, specific information on that. Again, the Small Business Development Center, which you'll hear from Kelly shortly. Also, the ILC grant writing assistance application, which Tom will speak to. You'll see the SBIR, STTR participating federal agencies. And then there's also another program that's being sponsored by SBA through SBIR, is a $1 million Patriot Pitch competition. And you can find more information about that program if you click on that icon as well. Next slide. So I will turn it over to Kelly. Well, first, let me ask if there's any questions about anything that I've discussed so far, either in the chat or if you want to just raise your hand.
So Francis, there had been an earlier question. Someone had asked, they had applied previously for an SBIR award. They had gotten a relatively good score. However, due to the pause in the program, they had not gotten funding. They were wondering what they should do next. My recommendation would be to reach out to the program officer at the agency that you had been applying for and get their recommendation as to if you need to reapply or if they're going to be reviewing applications that were in the queue from prior input.
Yes, that is true, Judith. I would also indicate that information that I'm hearing is that the agencies are going to try to release the funding. So I don't know if you applied for phase 1 or phase 2, but they are definitely working diligently to push out the applications for phase 2 that had been submitted in the system prior to the pause. So those applications that were in before the program's pause, phase 2 applications are definitely going to be priorities for the federal agencies to get that funding out of the door and approve those applications that are already in the system. If there's no other questions about what I've presented, I'll turn it over to Kelly to present on the Small Business Development Center.
Great. Thank you, Francis. I appreciate it. And welcome everybody to this well needed presentation to talk about some of the changes as well as the resources that are available for you. So I'm Kelly Brosna. I'm the State Director and CEO of the New Jersey Small Business Development Center Network, and we are a public-private partnership. We too get federal dollars, state dollars, and local dollars to provide resources to everybody with no-cost consulting and no-cost, low-cost training programs. If you could change the slide, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
One more. There you go. Okay. So we're actually housed out of Rutgers Business School, and we cover the entire state. We've been here, and the slide says over 45 years. This October, we're clicking up on 50 years. So we have a lot to celebrate this year with the 250th, as well as the 50th with the SBDC as well. New Jersey was one of the original pilot programs to provide these resources with Rutgers Business School being the grant recipient of that. So we are here and truly, truly vested to make sure that we are providing resources for entrepreneurs and existing business owners to be successful. So we go by the category, and I use that in quote, small businesses, which is 500 or less employees. We go by the federal standard. So it's 97% of all the businesses in New Jersey has the ability to act, access our, sorry, there's some sirens going on in the background here, to access our resources. And we cover the entire state. So it doesn't matter where you are in New Jersey, we cover every single county here in New Jersey. We have 9 hubs that we call them regional centers, and they have geographic areas. So you can see on this map sort of where they're located, as well as each of the counties that our regional centers cover. But it doesn't really matter because we have and I'm going to talk a little bit about our statewide tech program. So sometimes people will go and look for the application because they want to apply for this amazing opportunity with the SBIR or STTR grant through the federal agencies, but there needs to be some work that is done before the application will be successful and go through. That's where we want to come in on one side of the SBDC world of that. I'm going to talk about that first, then I'll talk about our tech program. So again, we just going through, you can access all of our resources through our website, which is njsbdc.com. Next slide, please. So again, this just gives you all of the lists, and I believe everybody's going to be getting a copy of this presentation so you can see all of our locations and the counties that each of them cover. But I want to make sure that you have access to this, because one of the biggest problems that we find is the access to these resources, who to connect to, who to contact. We want to make sure you have the most seamless experience of getting access to resources. So these are information, but if you ever need any additional help, I'm always there and can guide you into the right process, right direction and process to be successful. Next slide. So just going back over once again, we provide one-on-one consulting, mentorship. We do not do your business plan for you. We do not do the application for you. We do not do your financials for you. We mentor you, we guide you. We have experts that we bring on board to make sure that whatever need you have that expertise that can sit down with you, whether that's virtual or in person. We do both. So whatever is best for you, that will help you in your entrepreneurship path, whatever that looks and tastes and feels like. So a lot of times on the SBDC world, people come to us for basic startup information. So we can help with the formation, your business planning. We highly recommend, regardless of where you are in the stage of your business, that you put a business plan together, because that is your roadmap, and we can help you and guide you along that process. The roadmap is really important. But a lot of times people need marketing help. They need social media. We also have cyber people that can help. AI. Everybody's doing AI. I know that, but we can help and guide you through that as well, and how you can access that systematic approach to help your business, to guide your business, and to grow your business. And we also have specialized training. We do workshops. We do a lot of webinars, such as this informational session, as well as direct webinars on particular topics. But we can help with your certification. We can help with international and export opportunities. In import, we can help you with importing as well. We have a fabulous veteran entrepreneurship program that's a hybrid, both in person as well as online. And it's open to veterans, spouses, and dependents as well. Highly recommend that too. Coming up on our 250th, we just had Memorial Day. It's very important for everybody to know that we support our men and women who served and sacrificed for this country, and we want to be there to support that as well. And we also partner, and I'll show you a little bit of slide. We partner with chambers and small business associates and everybody. We are a hub and spoke that I'll talk a little bit about of making sure we can get you seamlessly to the right resource. All of our consulting is always at no cost. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. Our webinars, for the most part, most of them at no cost as well. Some might have nominal fees depending on timing, where it's at, things like that, if food is provided. Next slide. So our tech program that we have, which is really kind of the topic that we have here, we have experts that we will sit down with you and help you with your grant application. Again, I mentioned we don't do the application for you, but we help you with the grant application. As a matter of fact, one of our individuals, our consultants that we have on board, is a reviewer for some of the other federal agencies. So they know what you need to put in there and how it looks, your statement of capabilities, how you can put it in to put your best foot forward in order to get that award. And we can, I know Tom's going to talk a little bit about zero phase. We want to focus on phase one, phase two. We can help with all aspects of it as well. And again, looking at helping you submit those proposals, especially for those newer people that have never done it before, but also people that have done it and perhaps got turned down. We can look at the reasoning why you did not receive an award, and we can help tweak for your next application. So put your best foot forward and help you along those ways. Again, we do one-on-one, no cost consulting with that. And then we do webinars, as well as we can help with pre-submission panel reviews. And again, part of that proposal writing and the guidance on helping you put your best foot forward. Next slide. So I mentioned that we partner with everybody. This is just a really great depiction on how we are a hub and spoke model. We want you to come to us, let us holistically review your business, where you're at and where you need to go. I've said this before, I have no ego in this game. There's plenty of resources out there. We may be the right resource for you. We might not be the right resource for you, but let us review where you're at, and then we will seamlessly get you to the next partner, whoever that may be. And we want to make sure everybody understands that, our goal is to help you to be successful. Regardless of who is helping you, this is about the New Jersey businesses, and we want to make sure that we are there to support you and get you to the right resource. Again, part of the pain points that businesses have is that people just send you to a website. Go to this website, go to that website. Websites don't work, people don't call back, links may be broken. We will get you to that right resource. So next slide. So one last thing, I know Francis talked really quick. These awards are wonderful and they're great, and we want to help you along that way. But there are other opportunities as well that we at the SBDC can point you in the direction. Francis talked about the Patriots pitch with the 250th with SBA. We're going to send that information out this Friday in our newsletter. You could go to our website and register, and we can get you locked in to get our information that we can send out to you. Next Tuesday, we're going to do an informational session with SBA on the Patriots Pitch Act and go through all of their criteria. It's up to, they have a pool of $1 million that businesses can access. And I'm not trying to steer you away from SBIR, STTR, because this is very important, but sometimes you need you need additional revenue stream to come in to support your business. And this pitch competition could be that. We have lots of them throughout that. We can also help you with preparing for pitches as well. So I appreciate your time. We are here to support you, and just please let me know if I can help in any other way. So thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Are there any questions at this time for Kelly?
Yes.
There's one question in the chat that says, where can we go to get grant proposal counseling? It is not clear where specifically it is on your website.
So you have to register for consulting. So once you register for consulting, then we will have an intake specialist contact you, and we can find out what your needs are. And then we assign a technology consultant or whatever it is you need, the expert that's going to get you to where you need to go. So your first step is you have to register on our website for one-on-one consulting. Once you do that, and by the way, everything is confidential. Nobody gets access to your data, your information. We report numbers only, not our client information, so it is all confidential. The only thing that we ask is if you get an award and you're successful, we can promote you as a success story. We'll get that signed off from you. That's the only thing that we ask in return from you.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then let's see, for the Strategic Breakthrough Awards, does it matter how long ago a phase two funding was issued to a company? So that's something you will need to check with each of the agencies. There may be different requirements for each agency, but you do have to have prior phase two funding. Let's see. Is it realistic to consider that SBDC will be able to manage consulting for new companies in time for a June 29 submission date?
We have consultants ready to go so that your best bet is connect with us and let's get the ball rolling for you and we can guide you through that process and then determine if it's enough time or not. Depends on where the stage you are with your application and your information you have in there, but let us help you regardless. We're free. It's the best price in town. So, let us be there for you.
There's one more question about what type of consulting. It looks like there are different categories, procurement. Maybe this is something you might want to take offline. But he's asking specifically what type of consulting do they register for on the website?
Okay, I'm happy to add it into the chat if that makes sense, Francis.
Okay, perfect.
I don't want to take away from Tom's time.
Yes, yes, yes. I just want to make sure that I want to address these that are directed towards you.
Yep.
But we can come back. Let's go ahead and have Tom talk about the opportunities that are available with ILSI and the Phase Zero grant writing assistance.
Well, thank you. And I think mine should be pretty easy because Kelly did such a great comprehensive job on what the Small Business Development Center does. ILSI is a sort of a niche player in this. So we've got a much more narrow charge. But I'll give you a brief overview for those of you who don't know about our institute, about what we do and our expertise, and then our background in SBIRs and what we're hoping to accomplish during this program. And I put the application and link to the application for support right into the chat. So you should be able to access that very directly. So the Institute for Life Science Entrepreneurship is a 501(c)(3) nonprofit. We were founded about 12 years ago now, and we're based at Kean University. So we're completely independent of the university, and we're self-supporting. We have an R&D center where we do our own research. We do a lot of collaborative research with companies, and with respect to SBIRs for particular projects, we may be able to even develop bioassays or proof of concept studies that can go into grant applications. These are one-off. We have no formal program for this. It's really about how we can help with the grant. But our R&D group does that type of work. We also run an incubator at Kean. We have about 7,000 square feet, and at any one time we have between 8 and 12 companies that are active doing all types of research on drugs, drug development, discovery, diagnostics, and other types of technologies. And to date, we've helped the companies raise over $53 million in grants. So these are SBIRs and beyond. So we do all types of grants. And we also have an accelerator program where we'll work with an individual, an entrepreneur, a scientist, a clinician, you name it. And we'll sit down and sort out what exactly you need to actually build a company, what kind of resources you need, what do you bring to the table, and we'll figure out what's the best way to get you going. Our general focus is to work with companies that need to go from what we call 0 to 5. just get rolling, just get organized, get your documentation in place, get your first grants in, get your first money in, and then do your work so that you can then solicit venture capitalists and others to get Series A. So we help with that first money in. So that's what we do. We also just started an entrepreneur training program last year. So this is open to everyone. It's a virtual studio where we work with people who are looking to start companies, and we would take you through 12 weeks from September through early December, focusing on um, all the things that you need to develop for a company. You know, your value proposition. We do an ICOR related customer discovery program throughout your marketing, finance, all the things that you would need to do. We pair you with a mentor who can help you develop your company and your leadership. And as you go along, we work on pitch decks, and then we do a demo day towards the end of the program in December. So one of the key things that's a bit unique about this program is that we have a leadership development and executive coaching, recognizing that a lot of first-time founders don't have a lot of expertise in this. So we do modules throughout the program focusing on leadership development, so the entrepreneur can become the best advocate for his or her company, and to make sure that they're doing whatever they can to give the company the best chance of success. So those are the types of things we do: R&D, incubation, acceleration, and training. Our expertise is across the board. We're all former pharma people in R&D, licensing, business development, you name it, and we've started a lot of companies. And with respect to SBIRs and the Phase Zero program, we've written a lot of SBIRs. I have an active SBIR that I'm working on, that for a company I started. And we can be PIs, co-PIs, we co-write, we do support work for a lot of the grants that we can help promote. So this particular program, the Phase Zero program, is really focused on life sciences. So generally, we're talking NIH. So I think a few minutes ago, Francis showed a nice slide on the different agencies. When we're talking about SBIRs and the $4 or $5 billion that are committed to the programs, you're really talking about the two big ones are Department of War, former Department of Defense, which is about 2.3 billion, and then NIH, which is about 1.5 billion. Combined, these two agencies are over 80% of all the SBIR funding. NSF is large, about 250 we just heard they've committed, and the others are very meaningful, but they're typically smaller. So we focus on the NIH area. We're talking about obviously therapeutics, diagnostics, biologics, and things in that realm. And that's where we've been very successful over the years. So our program is focused on helping individuals develop the topics, how best to organize and pitch them, how to develop the specific aims, so that the things that the NIH is funding and sponsoring, that the aims and the actual activities that you are proposing are very well spelled out, and we help with that piece. We do full proposal support, depending if we can actually support you, depending on your area. So this is writing the background and significance, helping to frame the opportunity. The specific aim is really working on the science and the technology and how best to test, how best to address what we know the SBIR and the reviewers will come up with. And then, of course, something that's quite unique to a lot of people are the budgets, and the financials for grants. It's not very intuitive for a lot of people, certainly not for me. But developing a budget for a grant is as much of an art as it is a science, and we've got people that help with that process. And then it's a lot of it is just working through the process, and understanding your technology, how it is that we can help, and then charting a course forward. So, with respect to the NIH, the next due date is September 8th. So it's right after Labor Day, and that would be the next one. And so our program is open. And again, in the chat, we have a link to the application and the in the Word doc if you want to download it. Now, this is the way to get started. Just fill it out, orient us to what you're trying to work on, and just email it to me. My information's right in there, and then we take it from there. Typically, we triage them, saying, "Is this something we can help with or not?" If not, we do what Kelly delineated. We just send you over to the Small Business Development Center, or perhaps to MABA, the Mid-Atlantic BioAngels, or the EDA's Funders and Founders program. There's all types of programs and ways to build your company, to get funding. It's not always the SBIR, so we can help with triaging and directing you to that realm. But also, if there is a fit, if there is something that we can do, what we will typically do is get a CDA in place, and then share documents, and then just set up a technical call with our scientific team and just go through what you're trying to do and how best to position it, and to see if and how we can help. Sometimes we've started this process a few weeks back, and we've got a handful of companies that we're working with right now. A couple are all in. We call it the bear hug. We just get involved as a member of the team, and we just get involved with the writing, and we set up a cadence for weekly calls and meetings and the like. Others, we just provide just consulting and soft guidance and advice to kind of get the investigator on his or her way towards making progress. And then another category, of course, of those who are not quite ready. So September 8th may not be the right cycle. It might be the January cycle, but we have time to kind of work with you on that. So again, the whole process starts with the application. Just get everything in writing, send it to us, and we can, as the ILSA team, which we meet regularly, we'll go through these and determine what's the best way to help you, and take it from there. So that is what I wanted to cover, and everything is in the chat. So that's the way to get going. I see that there's a question. I don't know, Francis, if I can just take this myself. It says for ARPA-H support, which is part of HHS, but not necessarily NIH. It has different requirements than NIH. Yeah, that's something that we possibly could help with. So many of these are very specific to the technology, and not just the technology and the programs, but our ILSI's ability to actually help with the program and with the application process. So feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can set up a chat, and kind of go through what you're thinking, and see if there's a way to help you. So that's where we'd probably begin. So that's what I have, Francis. I don't know if there are any other questions, but I'm happy to take them.
Thank you, Tom. I don't see any other questions in the chat now, but I want to thank both you and Kelly for participating today. We definitely, CSIT, unfortunately, does not have the funding to do the matching grants that we have in the past, but we are certainly supporters of the SBIR program. We are allowing funding for both ILSI and the New Jersey Small Business Development Center to assist you with your applications and give you the guidance that you need. We're definitely willing to help you if there's any other information that you need. There's a couple more questions.
Yeah, Francis, let me just make a couple of comments before you get to those questions. I'd like to amplify what both Tom and Kelly said. We know that the SBIR funding that you're going to receive as an entrepreneur is not going to be all of the funding that you are going to ultimately need to get your business through full commercialization, selling product, and into a profitable position. So that you are going to want to look at other products from the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Tom had mentioned the Founders and Funders program. The NJEDA runs innovation office hours on a monthly basis, alternating between both in-person and virtual sessions. The next session is going to be in June. I believe it's June 18th, that Wednesday, maybe it's June 17th, up at the New Jersey Innovation Institute in Newark. But if you Google NJEDA Innovation Office Hours. You can get information about the additional support. I can tell you we've had success stories of companies like Recover, which had gotten several SBIR awards, had gotten some other funding, went on to get evergreen funding from the New Jersey EDA. So you want to be able to batch together and scaffold different pieces of funding to help your business grow and develop. The other thing I cannot emphasize enough is print out or read on the computer the actual solicitations very carefully. As Francis pointed out, there's been some changes with the reauthorization, so you want to read carefully what it is you have to do in order to apply. There's, a whole bunch of registration requirements, and that's certainly where the SBDC can help you get registered so you can actually apply to one of these 11 agencies. And by the way, it's not the Common App. It's not that the same documents you submit to NSF are the same documents you submit to the Department of War and the same ones you submit to, NIH. They all have some slightly different nuances of what they're looking for. So read carefully. Tom talked about a cadence where you're doing things on perhaps a weekly or bi-weekly basis. You want to put your best foot forward when you're putting these proposals in because it takes a lot of effort on your part. You don't want to do kind of a slapdash thing, and submit it. So let me get off my soapbox at that point.
If I could jump on that, Judith, I agree completely. I think one of the biggest things that you can do is take charge of it. I think Kelly's organization, ILSI, the CSIT, and the EDA can all help, but you have to be in the driver's seat to make it happen. And there's a lot of support to help you along the way. And I think one of the things that Judith mentioned earlier, and I've seen in the Q&A, is talk to the program officers. A lot of the questions that are being posed, some of these things we just don't know. Even the NIH doesn't know. There've been a lot of changes to the programs, a lot of hiccups throughout the reauthorization and new guidelines that they have to live under. So a lot of the questions that I personally talked to just this morning, I spoke to my NIH person. A lot of the questions that I have, they just don't know yet. They're still writing the rules themselves and seeing how a lot of this stuff's going to happen. So the point here is stay in contact with the program officer, get to know one. I can help you find one for your particular agency. But the key thing is to make sure you're talking to the right people and getting the right answers and staying on top of it.
And I'll add just one more thing too, is that, applying for these grant opportunities are amazing. And it is one step towards that. But sometimes you might need a little bit of help on the deployment of it. You might need a little bit of help of the question, what next? How do I do this? So that's where some of these support systems can continue to work with you. Not only do we want you to help you launch, but we also want to help you deploy and be sustainable and also grow. And so there's lots and lots of resources that are out there. And, with all the disruptions that are happening and going on, we want to make sure that you're set up for, do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan C, D, all the way to Z, just in case? And we want to make sure that you have that support system that can help you to not only stay in business, but to grow that business and rethink about opportunities and options for you. So that's where some of these resources and the SBDC certainly can help you along the way. We're not the only one, but we definitely want to help you not only with the opportunity with the grant applications and getting the award, but then also what next? What do I do with this? How do I deploy it? How do I, spend the money properly, exactly in order to grow it? And what are the other options that, as Judith mentioned, of you're going to need some additional funding to support some of the initiatives that you're doing. Again, getting these grant opportunities is one thing, but what else? What else does your business need to be successful? And that's where some of these resources can really step up and help your business.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much to both you, Kelly, and Tom. I also want to let those on the call know that CSIT does continue to offer the Catalyst and Clean Tech voucher programs. So if you're not quite ready for SBIR, you need to develop a prototype, or you're still in sort of the proof of principle stage with your R&D, please look into our voucher programs. They offer up to $40,000 for those small businesses in New Jersey that are partnering with core facilities, whether it's a university, a New Jersey university, a New Jersey federal laboratory, or other nonprofit research and development entities such as Coriell or NJII. So there's additional information on our website about that as well, if you'd like to. We're looking at sort of the entire ecosystem of this technology development. So maybe starting off with a voucher and then moving into SBIR. So we're here to assist you with all of your needs. Let's see. Do we have any more questions in the chat? Don't think so.
Yeah.
Could you go? So this is my information as well as Jackie. Jackie Lou is also on our CSIT team, and we are both here to help you if you need assistance with navigating or getting in touch with either Kelly or Tom. Their information is listed as well. If you just need some additional information. If you go to the next slide, Nishant. Or go back one. There should be a slide that, oh, this is to scan the QR code. This is for more information on the New Jersey Small Business Development Center. But go back one more. There should be a slide that has, go back to the end of the CSIT presentation. This is the additional resources again, the SBIR participating federal agencies. Like Tom said, the best way to understand what you're looking at in terms of submitting an application is to look at the individual federal agency's SBIR site. And that way you'll have the most current and up-to-date information on what the requirements are, what the funding level is, and any of the current information that is available.
Okay, Francis, I see a couple of questions regarding the R&D voucher program, asking if there's some new core facilities that are added to the list. The list on our website is most of the core facilities. I'm not sure that everything associated with Hackensack Meridian, Coriell, Cooper Medical is on that particular list. So if you do have, particular questions or needs, I would recommend that you submit the first part of the voucher, the initial part of the voucher application, so we can speak with you. We can speak with our core facility providers to see who may have facilities to be able to assist you in the work that you're doing. And someone else had asked, are there plans to restart the bridge funding? And that's really going to depend on where we sort out with the overall budget for CSIT. The state budgets should be set by June 30th, and then we'll know exactly how much funding we've got available and if we're going to be able to restart the pause that we've had on the SBIR Direct Financial Assistance Program.
Yep. Thank you, Judith, for adding that. If there are any other questions, like I said, we are all here to help and assist you. This is a great opportunity for New Jersey to really take advantage of this federal funding that's available for SBIR, STTR. The resources are here to help you with your applications. We are here to help point you in the right directions. We have the voucher funding to help sort of springboard your research into preparing for SBIR award. And as everyone, Judith and Kelly and Tom has mentioned, we also want to look at the other opportunities that exist around the state for funding, not just grant funding, but also opportunities to work with New Jersey manufacturers and other entities in the state to really complete that whole system of research and development, prototype, commercialization, and looking at that full life cycle. I think there's one more question here. Oh, okay, that was from Andy. That's answered. If there's no other questions, as mentioned at the top, from Public Affairs, all the slides will be available. There will also be, the recording will be available, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any follow-on questions or requests for additional information. And we just want to thank everyone for participating today. Hopefully you found the information that we provided useful, and we look forward to seeing the applications come through and getting those awards for New Jersey. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you.